Hello and welcome to episode 82 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list, but not this episode because we took it from a random list of Halloween movies. This is Colin.
This is Niall.
And this was random movie number 3 that we picked from the list, and it is The Thing from 1982, or as it was released in Ireland, The Ting.
The Thing.
The Ting.
Yes. This is a John Carpenter movie. This is a movie I've seen a few times before. Kind of not one of my favorites, but it's up there. I have a thing for this movie.
Yeah. Well, it's from 1982 and it runs for 1 hour and 49 minutes. It's got a meta score of 57, but a user score of 8.7. It had a budget of 15 mil and brought in a box office of 19.9 mil. It was not accepted and welcomed with open arms.
It certainly was not.
No. People did not get the gore.
It was definitely a cult following after that, though. Like a big cult following.
Yeah, John Carpenter said it's his movie that he's most proud of, but he was devastated when it was first released because nobody liked it.
Yeah, if you look at serious cinephiles, though, like people like John Travolta, Tarantino, he's a massive fan of this movie, and he actually remade this movie into the Hateful Eight that follows scene by scene along. So it's a bit of an homage to this movie.
Well, I read today that Ennio Morricone basically used some of the cuttings from this movie to do the soundtrack for the Hateful Eight, and strangely enough, he got a Razzie for this one and an Oscar for the Hateful Eight. Same music. Yeah.
Well, that just shows how fickle it can be, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. John Carpenter obviously directed Halloween 78, Escape from New York 81, then this one, and then Big Trouble in Little China obviously in 86.
And listen, Kurt Russell, John Carpenter together, in my opinion, is a winning formula.
Yeah. So let me. We have to talk about special effects and makeup here. I don't usually dig deep into this one, but Roy Arbogast was in charge of special effects, and he also did special effects for The Fugitive that we watched a few episodes ago. And then Rob Bottin did makeup, and he did the makeup for Seven.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of ties with our previous episodes. And also, Susan Turner made the UFO at the start credits that wobbled into Earth.
Yeah, that's possibly the weakest bit, though, let's be honest.
Well, she did the visual effects for Conan.
Did she?
The Barbarian. Well, part of something. I don't know what she did, but she's credited for something.
She did the hair of Mr. Doom.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know what you did, but so obviously I don't think I have anything else to say about the background of this movie. But
I think there's a lot of pride taken in the practical effects here as opposed to any real CGI. I think there is CGI listed in this. I just don't see where it is. I think it's mostly it's mostly practical effects. Like
there was green
a chess
screen.
Piece.
There was a green screen used for, I just read it today, a green screen used for when they were checking out the Norwegian base and they found the rectangle in the ice. That was all green screen, and they filmed it in a parking lot in Los Angeles.
The spaceship was actually drawn in and everything else was green screened. It was just them climbing down a painted picture, effectively.
To be honest with you, I thought the physical effects and the makeup that was done was very good, and I don't think it looked stupid, to be honest with you. It's obviously very, very unreal and crazy, but to be honest with you, I didn't laugh at it. I didn't laugh at it.
I think for the time and for the amount of money that was spent on it, for the year, I think the effects in this are great. I was petrified that this would have aged terribly because it's been a long time since I've seen this. But it hasn't aged visually at all.
I laughed more at the alien running off the table in Alien.
The spiderhead alien.
No, when he came out of the chest, when the chest burster.
Oh, sorry, he scuttles along the ground.
It just looks stupid.
It does, unfortunately. for everything else in that movie, which was a beautiful movie,
true.
That was ridiculous.
That was a bad choice. I thought that they should have done something else. They could have, I don't know what they could have done, but that's for another episode if we ever get Alien.
If we ever get that.
Great movie. I'm just saying that it looked stupid.
Yeah.
Kind of reminded me of the fur coat in Ghostbusters that comes alive and runs down the street.
Similarly ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what they were going for.
No. Anyway, we're talking about the UFO maker. She made this. We see the intro of the movie is this UFO wobbling along quite stupidly and quite amateurishly.
I think what they're trying to convey there is that it's about the crash. But
True.
It's a bit daft looking.
Put a bit of smoke behind it or something then.
Or a guy driving going, oh Jesus.
Fucking flat tire or something.
Absolutely lamped drunk.
Yeah. On friggin' Vulcan wine or something. Wrong world.
Romulan ale,
that's the one. So we get to see that it's winter 1982 and we are straight into this chopper scene.
Norge written on the side, and a couple of lads flying around with a rifle chasing after a dog.
Yeah, and I was like, because I couldn't even tell you if I've seen this movie before, to be honest with you. I might have, but I was like, what are they chasing the dog for?
I gotta respect the dog's acting in this one.
I tell you what, they do actually mention it, that the dog was an amazing actor. They mention it in the trivia for this movie. You know the way when he walked down the corridor or something and he went into the room, that took like 4 takes or something. It was like John Carpenter loved him.
He was fantastic. There was an intensity about him at the right times. And then there's a meekness at the right time. Yeah. Dog was brilliant.
Should have got an Oscar.
He should have.
Or a Bonio, one or the other. But the one that's been chased at the start is not the actor dog. No, they painted a dog. Come here.
Oh, that's great.
Come here, mutt.
It reminds me of Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah. But sorry. So we also get at the start the Morricone sort of dun, not Netflix, but
so good, isn't it?
Yeah, it continues throughout the movie. Dun.
It sets the tension straight away.
Yeah,
and it never really lets off because it lets you know something weird about that dog.
Yeah,
straight away, and every time the only thing in the scene is the dog, and it goes dun, and you're like, oh shit, that dog's something wrong there.
Yeah, Cujo-esque. So we get to see, this is Research Station 4, and we get to see a little cutscene of different characters. We see our main friend playing a bit of chess.
Mac. He's not very good at chess.
No, he doesn't like it, and he pours his drink into the motherboard.
And into a 1982 chess. I can't even chess.
That's Sean Connery.
Chess. I can't play.
Would you like to play chess?
So yeah, you hoof some whiskey onto the motherboard. That's $10,000 down the drain.
Oh yeah, that's just
you're not getting
weird.
Replacements in the Antarctic either.
No, it's kind of a bit of a crazy move, to be honest with you.
In chess.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Checkmate, said the computer. Anyway, so we cut back to the scene. This idiot in the helicopter, he's just missing every shot. I'm like going, what the hell is wrong with you? What's going on?
In his defense, he's a scientist, so he's probably not trained as a crack shooter.
Yeah, true. So anyway, they land and they start keep on shooting at the dog and yelling something in Norwegian. Which
I have it written down in the translation.
Please do.
Basically, get away from him. That's not a dog. He's imitating one, and then you get shot. Then he gets shot.
Well, he shoots one of the dudes in the leg first.
Yeah, and then Gary, no messing with Gary.
Boom.
Yeah, he smashes a window open, pops the Norwegian lads.
Chief
Game
Gary.
Over. Oh, we forgot one very important bit when they both jump out of the helicopter. One guy pulls out a grenade.
Yes, of course.
Fumbles with it. It goes flying behind him. He goes back over, sticks his head into the snow to get it. And he and the helicopter go up in a big explosion.
And even after that, the Norwegian guy doesn't get carries. He's shooting at the dog and hits
Well, I think
lad on the knee.
Norwegian guy knows the stakes, so
Yeah.
at this point he doesn't care about his own life, but he doesn't do a very good job of it.
No. And, you know, even if he was speaking in English, people would be going, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, they probably would shoot him if he was, could be understood by the English speakers.
Yeah. Anyway, after all that malarkey, I think, is it McCready that says it? First week of winter. Something like the first week of winter, this shit happens.
I think it might have been Windows or someone.
Yeah. Anyway, we kind of get the sense that they've had no contact with the outside world due to whatever.
Yeah, they're trying to get mainland wherever on the radio or anywhere on the radio because they want to report this craziness because 2 Norwegians just got shot and blown up at their research station, which isn't great. But because it's winter and storms are kicking in and they don't have satellite communications back in 1982, not really. There's no Starlink. They have to try and bounce the signal over AM through the ionosphere. But you can't do that in the winter because the weather is crap.
It's good to know the technical reasons that why they can't communicate. So we get a bit of we get to see who's there. It's very hard initially to figure out who's who and what their names are. There's quite a lot of characters.
Yeah. Gary was easy to figure out because he's a lunatic with the gun.
Yeah, we have McCready, it's Kurt Russell. Blair is Wilfred Brimley. We've got a whole bunch of other people that will be mentioned as we go along.
The doc.
Dr. Copper, played by Richard Dysart.
Childs is important as well.
Childs, played by Keith David.
He's awesome.
Was Keith David in Riddick?
He was in the Chronicles of Riddick. Yes, he played the religious dude, the imam.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of connections with our previous episodes here.
We do.
Yeah, but we do see the dog putting his head through a door and then slowly walking down a corridor into someone's room. Just a little bit suspicious.
You see the shadow of somebody turning around and looking at him, but you don't see the face. Now, that's an important thing not to see the face because it doesn't give anything away. That's important in a few minutes.
Yeah. So McCready's like going, let's head over to the Norwegian camp.
See why they went mental.
Yeah.
Because there was supposed to be a complement of 12 people, so he was thinking, well, there must be 10 more Norwegians. Let's see if there's any left over there and see why those guys were going cray.
Yeah, so it's all burnt down and they head on in, and obviously it's a little bit of tension, and then a corpse is sort of found. And initially, the normal corpse is found, like normal as in just dead.
A guy who's done himself in. He's cut his wrist and his throat, just to be sure of it.
To be sure.
And it seems a bit extreme until you go outside and see a semi-burnt corpse and the state it's in. But you don't get to see it straight away. They load it into the chopper and bring it back to their own base. Now, I'm not sure I would have brought that back to base.
No. Yeah, that's weird. And they find a big ice tub too. And I was like going, what the hell does that mean? Like the big square chunk of ice.
Yeah, so that's to imply that they dug something out of the ice, took it as a big block back to base, the Norwegian base, and then chopped it up and took something out of it.
Yeah.
They maybe shouldn't have done that.
Again, we see suspicious doggo looking out the window when the helicopter arrives back. It's just staring out the window.
It's such a menacing stare. Maybe it's just the music to go along with his expression, but it really adds a lot of oh dear.
Yeah. So I think we get to see this first element of the visual effects and makeup that they had done in this thing with this mangled corpse.
Yeah, it's
mutation. It's great.
Face sort of stretched out, normal on one side, normal on the other side, but the middle is just like silly putty. It's just well done, really well done.
Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look stupid. It's like it could look stupid in a B movie or whatever, but I thought it was very gruesome and it's also very slimy as well. So it's not like dry or anything. It's quite moist looking as well, the body parts. So it sort of adds a little bit of horrorness to it.
A lot of time was spent on these practical effects, like a lot of time. So there wasn't necessarily a lot of money spent on them, but a lot of love was given to these guys at the time.
Yeah. So They kind of cut to a poker game and sort of the dog brushes past, I think it might be Blair, maybe, I can't remember.
It's Blair. And Blair's like, what the get this away from me.
Get that dog in the pound.
And so,
so this is the first sort of...
Clark moves him out there, and this is really good.
Yeah, some great,
again, it's great how the other dogs react. They're all a bit wary. But then the dog... Clark
he's slowly looking he's just looking at the wall when he goes in, the dog.
Yeah.
It's just kind of ominous. And
he's not doing anything, he's just standing there, and the other dog's looking at him going, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. And then he just explodes into a weird ass monster.
Yeah, I felt so really sorry. There's one dog who's eating the fence trying to get out.
Yeah.
I was really sorry for the doggos, especially him. He doesn't end well.
They made the dogs barking and yelping sound by corralling all the stray dogs in the region and chucking them into a room or something and going up to the windows and recording their barking and yelling or something. Strange.
That's a very strange practical effect.
Yeah. But anyway, this sort of first sort of animated scene of a physical sort of manifestation is quite intense and kind of full on. The dogs are going crazy. Dogs get speared with shit and tentacles are flying everywhere.
Yeah, and one gets squirted down with alien goo.
Yeah,
I can describe it as.
The poor dog.
It's horrible. And it's a real practical effect. It's a real dog, and he gets squirted with some green gunk, and the dog's like, "Oh, Jesus!"
Yeah, I felt sorry.
Genuinely didn't like what was happening.
No, I felt sorry for the actor dog. Yeah. So they have to the fire alarm gets set off, and McCready kind of leads the charge and tells somebody to grab the fire extinguisher.
McCready doesn't F around in this one. He just straight away, he's flying across. He pulls the alarms without thinking about it when he hears a commotion. Doesn't think about it for more than 2 or 3 seconds. So straight away, McCready's a man of action. He gets crap done. And I think it's well done. There's no, what's that? Go investigate. He's like, no, fucking straight away. And then when he gets there and he sees what's going on, he screams for Childs, get the flamethrower.
Yeah. And Childs comes along and just waits and just is a jaw agape.
A very human reaction, though, because that's not a usual sight.
Tentacles a go. But he doesn't seem to blast it for too long, though. He just pshht.
Yeah, there's one thing I would have, I suppose, if you're living in the Antarctic, having one of your buildings on fire, your main building on fire is probably a bad thing. But that being said, the thing that they're setting fire to, I would let it burn.
Yeah. So they quickly go into an alien autopsy of whatever the hell happened to that doggo.
Yeah.
And Dr. Copper's kind of going, you're dealing with something that replicates here.
Yeah, I think it's actually Blair is digging into him. Cooper or Copper is more of a man doctor than a scientist.
Okay. Oh yeah, Blair, of course. Yeah.
So Blair's digging around inside, and he's like, "Yeah, the bits in here, they're pre-dog. We're going to be dog, and the stuff in here that isn't dog, and might have been turned into dog eventually." So we caught him mid-transition. He was transitioning into multiple dogs.
Oh dear. And then we have the paranoia starting. How long were you with the dog?
Yeah, Clark. Well, how long did you spend with the dog, Clark? And he's like, well, what are you talking about?
You want a bonio, Clark?
Yeah. The thing is, straight away, suspicions on Clark. And then not just the people on screen. The viewers think, he's spent an awful lot of time with those dogs. And he's always been a bit weird on scene. So on screen, so I don't know about Clark.
Yeah. So I think they find a videotape of the Norgs with the UFO. So they take a chopper out to the UFO and sort of come to the conclusion that, I was in there for 100,000 years.
Then we dug it up and then they took out this thing from the ice. That's not great.
No. And then we see sort of I think they get more data there, or evidence that what happens. They've got a little cell of the dog's animation and how it replicates stuff and a simulation of the host cells. And I think it comes up with statistics. 75% probably someone is infected.
Yeah, it's weird AI stuff for 1982.
Yeah,
but
it's full on.
It's maybe just a visual representation of some data that wouldn't be understandable to the lay person, just slapped up on the screen. So Blair's looking at it and he's like, I can't trust my my teammates. They're probably infected. He then gets another piece of statistics to state that if this gets out, that the entire planet will be assimilated within 27,000 Earth hours. And he's like, crap.
Oh, we're in fucking deep shit.
So Blair goes nuts.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
Doesn't go just yet. We've got a couple of scenes in between.
Yeah.
Where the corpse, I believe it's the I can't remember who the corpse was. Was it the Norwegian dude? Probably was, yeah. Yeah, it was. There was no other corpse at this point. He moves and starts dripping goo.
Oh, no, that's the corpse they brought over from the Norwich base.
Oh, right.
So that's one thing that they mention later on, is that there's still activity in the dead cells that are semi-burnt.
Right.
So killing organs and stopping, normal bodily functions doesn't kill it. You got to burn each individual cell.
Right. So it's of course, because the Norwegian helicopter dude wasn't infected. He was trying to shoot the dog that was infected.
Yeah,
exactly. Fuck. There's lots of things in this movie that confuse me. There's lots of names and characters. What else?
Yeah, the blanket moves under the blanket covering the corpse from the Norwegian base moves, and some slime starts dropping out. There's two characters in the storeroom with it. One's, I can't remember, he's picking up some gear. The other guy goes out for something else. And one thing they were told was never be alone with them by yourself, because you don't want to be.
I think it's Benning, right?
Bennings is toast.
He's toast. He messed up and he's now unraveled in crap.
Yeah, and when his friend goes back in, all there is basically blood.
Yeah. So then the question is, where's Blair?
Oh, actually, before that, sorry, Bennings runs out into the snow. They all chase after him. So this is when they really realize we're all fecked. Because Bennings is out in the snow. He's mostly assimilated.
Oh yeah.
But his hand is like elongated.
Oh yeah.
And he goes and drops to the sand. Childs
burns.
Isn't with this. I don't think it's Childs this time. I think it's actually Mac who's got the flamethrower. Doesn't really hesitate long. He just looks at him for a second while all 10 of them are staring at it, going, yeah. So he just sets fire to him.
Yeah.
Then they go get some kerosene, make a big pile of snow around him. Absolutely torch Bennings. Which is the right move to do.
It is. And they're all there, and that's when they ask, where's Blair? And I think Blair? Max spots him running away from the chopper.
Yeah, he just smashed the thing up the pieces.
Yeah, he's going nuts inside.
Yeah, he had an axe, I think. But he's got a reason for doing this. At the moment, he cares about the human race.
Yeah, true.
Because he's just seen some interesting facts about the demise of the human race if this gets away from base. So he's disposing of any chance of that happening, or attempting to anyway.
Yeah. So he's totally on board with the bigger picture and doesn't really, he knows pretty much they were dead.
He's given up on himself, which respect to Blair. So this goes straight from the chopper to shots being fired, and it's Gary who's kind of cornered Blair, but Blair's got a gun. And he's in the radio room, and he's going to town in there as well, like he did with the chopper. Yeah,
he's getting rid of all the radio communications so nobody can actually even bring in help, because that would just spread everything.
Yeah, so he unloads the gun. By this point, radio's gone. He empties the cartridge at Childs, I think. So Mac sends Childs around the other way, and he empties his 6-shot revolver at him, and Mac comes flying in from the other side with a table. Smacks him down, and they capture him. But
they do.
They decide to lock him in Mac's room. But Blair says, "Look out for Childs."
No, he says, "Watch out for Clark."
Clark, sorry, not yeah,
Yeah,
Clark,
the
the
dog
dog
guy.
handler.
Yeah. So all the who's real? Don't know. Let's get the blood. Let's get the blood test going, but the blood's all gone or
Yeah, like they go,
sabotaged.
it jumps really quick to that.
Yeah,
That's the there's two people who could have done it. That was either the Doc or Gary, supposedly. So then more suspicion, more paranoia, more blaming, more guns being
yeah.
pointed at everybody.
Gary runs for a gun. It's a shit show.
Yeah.
There's
A bit of a face
paranoia.
off.
Yeah, it's kind of just. Is this what happens in the Hateful Eight? There's like paranoia.
Very much so. Very much so. Same thing. There's. It's been a while since I've seen it, but there's a not an alien per se, but there's a gang who are trying to kill people from another gang, and it's
Yeah.
don't really know who's on which side, and it's the same paranoia, and it's the same layout,
Mm.
and it's in the snow, and there's buildings, outbuildings, and there's ropes to the buildings. It's the same movie with cowboys instead of aliens.
Right.
It's brilliant.
Well done, Tarantino. So yeah, so you're totally now in the throes of the movie. Everybody's suspicious and paranoid. It's a change of leadership. They say, "I know I'm human." I think that's McCready says that. So we got Doc and Gary and Clark. They kind of move away from the others, I think, or they want to separate them. I think McCready's like separating them at this point. Or am I remembering it wrong?
McCready's got the flamethrower at this point, and he goes, "I know I'm human, so I'm gonna just do what I think is right here." So he gets Gary and he gets the Doc, who are the only people who had access to the blood supply. And he's like, "Okay, one of you guys is probably a bloody alien. You guys stand over there, away from everybody else." Everybody else seems happy enough with that because they're all kind of like, "Yeah, the guys are they're the aliens."
Yeah. So I think they say something about the clothes are all like there's the
clothes get
are
ripped during the transformation.
Yeah. So he found some ripped long johns or something.
Yeah. That was actually Knowles, the cook, who said, "Who threw this into my bin?" At some point. That's where McCready kind of cops it. The transformation means the clothes rip.
Right. There's basically no trust at all between anybody right now. I think the lights go out and a person walks past.
Windows.
So it's all paranoia, and then he heads out and he sees McCready's ripped shirt in the snow. So that's
when he goes, though. We don't know who kills him, or does he kill himself? Because all you find at the end in the next scene is actually no, it was Fuchs.
Fuchs went out. Yeah,
Fuchs went out, and all they find of Fuchs is his burnt corpse. Now he never got to turn into an alien, so either he's figured out he was screwed and just covered himself in petrol and lit himself, which is very bloody unlikely, or the alien did him. For some reason.
At this point, like they go to Blair, and Blair's saying, "It ain't Fuchs. I want to come inside. Let me in.
Come on, I'm not mad anymore."
Yeah,
completely sane. And there's a noose in the background. Don't mind the noose. I'm fine.
Yeah, and there's a lights on in McCready's shack, and so he's like going, "Come on up with me and check it out." I think it was Childs with him, or no.
I have a theory I'd like to dump out here.
Yeah, do it. Dump it.
When Blair decides that he's not nuts, yet there's a noose in front of him, my theory is he was about to kill himself, but then somebody knocked on the door and let themselves in and changed him. And now he doesn't want to kill himself anymore, but he'd like to be back with everybody.
Yeah. Let me back into the gang.
I promise I won't turn you into monsters.
Yeah. So anyway, they're all in the back. I think who goes with McCready to check his shack out? Is it Childs or Knowles?
It's Knowles goes with him.
Right. Because he heads back on his own, and
he dusted him because he found McCready's shirt with his name tag on it, but it's ripped and it was stuck in the fireplace.
Yeah,
like, he's one of them.
Yeah, so the door handle rattles and McCready's back trying to get in, but he somehow sneaks in through the resources.
He gets in the window
or whatever.
The storeroom. But
he's
in the storeroom is a bunch of dynamite.
Dynamite and a flare. So he's in charge right now for the rest of the movie. He's in charge.
Yeah, he was kind of in charge the whole way, apart from about 10 seconds where Gary was in charge. But it's McCready the whole way.
Yeah, but but like he doesn't give them any opportunity now to be leader. He's leading the rest of their sort of adventure in
And
shit.
he comes up with an idea. Oh no, wait! Before we go there, sorry, the idea is in a few minutes. Who is it has a heart attack? Oh,
Yes.
Blair, isn't it? Yes, Blair.
No, because Blair's in the
Ginger lad. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
whatever
wrote
the
down
ginger lad's name.
lad.
That's fine. Yeah, whoever he is, I cannot remember.
He keels over because he tried to tackle McCready, and that was a mistake because McCready's, he's Kurt Russell. You don't tackle Kurt Russell.
Yeah, this is great.
He spills, has a heart attack, kind of dies, or does he? Doctor drags him onto a table, starts doing chest compressions, and
amazing.
Oh God! As he's compressing Ginger Boy's chest, his chest cracks open into a big mouth, and his wrists just go smushed right in, and the mouth chomps.
Yeah, it's great.
And he rips his hands back, but his hands don't come with. All he's got is stumps.
Yeah, and there's the guy's in his mouth, and there's just a waving piece of mass.
Yeah, it's grim. It's unexpected as well, because you expect him to die or slowly transform, but no, the ginger lad just turns into a large mouth.
But then one of them's head comes off, right? The guy that was giving him CPR.
The ginger lad's head comes off as well.
Oh, okay. So he's the head spider then. He's
the head spider. That drops to the floor. Nobody's paying attention to his head because the doctor is also transforming at this point.
It's fucking insane at this point. I just couldn't keep track of who was who and what was what. I just knew that people were fucked.
Which head spider is what?
Yeah, what head spider is this? And the head spider's just walking out the door going, do, 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 do.
Don't mind me. I'm just going to walk out here.
I need to find somebody else. Yeah.
I think it was Knowles who goes, it was the... not the radio guy. I can't remember what his position. Not a scientist anyway. He goes, he's a bit of a junkie lad. He goes, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Yeah.
He sees the spider dandering past. He's like, nah, that's too much. I'm done.
Yeah. So they do fire them, don't they? They do get.
Oh, they burn them to hell. Yeah. And they take all this crap out the front and burn it again. So they've had a few bonfires at this point.
Yeah.
They've been very careful to burn absolutely everything now.
They're pretty good now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically McCready's like going, all right, still got the dynamite, still got the flamethrower, tie everybody up.
I've got a plan, tying you all to a sofa.
Yeah.
But he has a plan from seeing the spider head legging it for itself, and even the rest of the thing, but to fend for itself. He's like, maybe each individual segment of the thing has the will to live. Maybe the blood of the thing,
it's a bit of a leap.
The will to live. Yeah. It is, but what else you got to do?
Yeah. So everybody pricks their thumb or finger and gives blood, and away we go for sort of tense sort of testing of everybody's blood. Yeah.
So Windows is helping him as the only one person he kind of half trusts for some reason. Can't remember why he kind of half trusts him, not fully, but he's the only one with a flamethrower. At this point.
He's in charge. He's
absolutely in charge. So Windows is cutting people with a scalpel, getting a bit of blood off them, put them and labeling a bunch of petri dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And he sets fire to a copper wire and sticks the copper wire into the blood. Perfectly fine.
A little bit of smoke for each one.
Nearly forgot, before we did any of this, Clark bum rushes him.
Oh yeah, he gets shot. Yes,
he gets shot in the forehead.
Yeah. Dogman goes down.
So he's in the corner.
There's a lot to take note of in this movie, and it's hard to track this movie as a reviewer.
A lot happens very quickly, and that adds to the tension.
Yeah,
it really does.
So when it's Palmer's blood's time, something erupts.
It doesn't just go.
It booms.
It plops out of the petri dish in a big fucking chunk of
something, and then Palmer's head splits open.
Yeah, Yep, but everybody's still tied to the bench with him.
Yeah, get me the fuck out of here.
The fuck off this bench. Yeah, and then McCready's flamethrower won't work.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Windows has got his flamethrower, and he's just like panics, and then the thing, its head pops open into a big mouth and chomps Windows' head.
Yeah.
It's so grim.
That's a lot of shit.
There's a lot of stuff happening in seconds.
Because right now it's pretty much scary. So I think, finally McCready burns the witch.
he takes out the one thing. But while that's happening, Windows is starting to turn.
Yeah.
Straight away. So it's grim. So he burns him as well.
Burn all the things.
So
Gary is good. Test Gary. He's good.
Gary's the last to be tested.
Yeah.
Knowles is tested next. He's clean. He's getting the flamethrower. Child's flamethrower for you as well. Gary's the last man on the bench to test him. And I love his line here.
What does he say?
I know you guys have been through a lot today, but would somebody please fucking get me off the fucking bench?
Yeah. He was like, yeah, you had me fucking pinned to rights for a long time. Now just let me go, you bastards.
Yeah. So it turned out the Doctor and Gary never were the monster alien thingy that everybody expected they were.
Yeah.
Or Clark, as they tested him as well, posthumously.
Posthumously, yeah. Oops. He
Oops,
was
shot
just
you in the head for no good reason.
Yeah, Clark was questioning McCready as being the alien, so he tried his best to take control of the situation.
Yeah, but it's Kurt Russell, man. Can't do that.
They head out to Blair, and he's not.
Yeah, Blair's
nowhere
gone,
to be
so the
seen.
door is open because they wanted to go test him. Pretty sure at this point he would have tested positive. He's got COVID, man.
He's COVID. But I don't get this, and you'll have to explain it to me. They head down into the tunnel, and there's a fucking UFO being built. Did he just built it overnight, over the last hour or two, or what's going on?
No. Blair's been the thing for, I think, a couple of days at this point. Remember, I was talking about the noose.
How many?
He put the noose up when he wanted to kill himself.
Yeah.
And then he decided he wanted to come live with the guys again. But there's been like a 48-hour period.
Yeah, is that it though? 48 hours, and he can build a fucking UFO underneath the bunker.
You have to remember, he's not just a human chap with two hands. He probably could grow a few more appendages if he needed to.
He's like the guy in Stoking the Fires in Spirited Away. He's got
six arms.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's the theory of that. That's fine.
I'm not too sure what the spaceship was for. It looked pretty small, so I'm guessing it was just to get the mainland somewhere, so he could assimilate some more peeps.
Yeah, that was his modus operandi. To make matters worse, Childs just runs away in the distance.
Yeah,
and the generator gets shut off.
Yeah, the lights go off.
Yeah, they boom the UFO, and they boom the base.
At this point,
bit by bit.
McCready says, "Listen, lads, I hate to break it to you, but we're all dead. There's no way we're getting out of this, and this thing wants us all to die because he's taking the generator out. Generator's toast. It's gone. It's not even where it used to be. There's no way off. There's no way home. There's no radio. There's no more heating. We're going to die. He wants to freeze. He wants us to freeze with him. And he wants to be rescued by the American government. That's going to be bad for the human race. So McCready's like, we have to accept the fact that we're going to die. We take it with us. Brilliant.
Yeah. Let's boom everything.
It's boom everything. It's time for dynamite, baby.
So they head out. They're in somewhere. I don't even know where. But I like this death because every time there's a death, it's just something more extravagant and innovative in the whole realm of things. So Blair appears out of nowhere and gets with
his face. Poor Gary.
Gary. Yeah, it was Gary.
Yeah. He puts
gets
his
him by the
hand
face,
into
by
his
the
face.
skin. And then you see him just dragging him by the skin.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's very good.
So good. Again, the visual effects, so practical, but just works. So really good. I love this bit. I love that. And it's not tacky. It's not cheap. It's not plastic. Brilliant.
Yeah. So the floor starts rumbling for McCready, and up pops the monster.
Oh, no, Knowles has to die first.
Oh, how does he die?
I can't remember. I didn't write down when he died, but he dies.
Probably in this whole scene. I have no clue because he went looking for. He thinks he sees something, right?
He went off before Gary, and he gets just blindsided. You don't get to see him die, but he dies.
Yeah. Or no, but that wasn't that Childs walking away because he was going at the end.
Childs walks away to get Blair.
Right.
It's McCready, Knowles, and Gary down in the basement. The generator basement.
I knew we'd lose track of somebody.
The characters there. There's so many.
There's too many. Like you should go down to a Predator number of cast. I think, in my opinion.
Get to the Joppa.
Like
Joppa's broken, dude.
Like give me 6 characters so I can keep track of them.
Listen, I think it adds to the chaos. I think it's good. It's difficult for taking notes.
Yeah, very much so.
But for the chaos and the paranoia, I think having that amount of characters is actually good.
Yeah. Anyway, the monster comes up from underneath the floor, and
he's not messing about now. He's consumed Gary and Knowles, so there's three people-sized monster.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like got a load of mutated people in it.
Bits of dogs, bits of people.
And how does McCready finish him off?
Stick of dynamite, baby. But is he finished? Yeah, the place is burning. The monster's been blown to pieces. I don't know how well it's been burnt. And McCready's kind of in bits at this point, so he just sort of danders out into the snow.
Well, I like his line when he's before he yoinks the dynamite. He goes, "Yeah, fuck you too."
It's a great line.
It's a great line. The end of a sort of versus battle is like a great thing to say to your nemesis.
Just fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you too. You've tried to fuck us all over. You nearly did it, but no.
You can get me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So he's like exhausted, lying down, and Childs pops up, and he's like,
"Well, he hasn't." The thing is, what's kind of not really explained, he hasn't slept for like 3 days solid. So he's been awake 70 something hours more, maybe.
Pure adrenaline.
Now it's cold. He's outside. Yeah, he's tired.
He's like,
he's got a bottle of whiskey though.
Yeah. He's like, "Where were you, Childs?"
"I went after Blair."
Interesting.
Then there's a fantastic little discussion at the end where, Childs says, "So are you the monster?" And McCready's going, "If either of us were or weren't, I don't think the other one has the energy and the ability to do much about it now." It is what it is. I'm just going to drink my whiskey. He hands the whiskey to Childs. He has a slug.
And yeah, so it's like, why does he say maybe we shouldn't? I had that down as a last sort of line. I don't know what Childs says to him, but he says, maybe we shouldn't. Test each other or something? I don't know. Maybe it's about testing.
I think that might have been that. But I think the point was, what's the point? We're both in not in a position to fight.
Yeah.
If the other one is a monster, what are you going to do?
Yeah. And also, they're pretty much destined to die right now.
Yes. They have no ability to take out the thing if the thing is still an entity, and they're going to freeze to death.
They're going to freeze to death.
Might as well enjoy your whiskey.
Yeah, here, have some of this. That's the last action of the movie. The end.
Finn.
I haven't put down my scores yet, so I will do now. What are you giving the
I had put my scores down, and I've been modifying them as I go. As I am like to do, because sometimes in recounting the movie, you're like, "Oh yeah, that was really good, that bit," and you have to adjust based on that, or you're annoyed about something and you adjust down. The plot, I love it. I love the paranoia that this plot develops. It's not super complex, but it's nonstop. The music straight away has you on edge. Ennio knows what he's doing. So the plot to me is either 4 or 4.25. I'll leave it at 4. I'm not going to go cray.
Yeah. I have 3.5.
I had it at 3.5. I've marked it up as we've been talking.
It's tricky. It's an evolved whodunit, and put in a bit of sci-fi and paranoia and tension and revenge and stuff.
Gore.
Yeah, not revenge, but just gore.
Lots of
amazing special effects and makeup.
for 1982 or 1983, these effects are excellent.
Yeah. I'll give the acting 3.25. I think like it's good, and I'm not saying it's bad. That's 3.25 is a good score. I think that everybody does amazingly well. It's just not breathtakingly good.
I've got it down for 3.5. It's really good acting where it needs to be. Like it's as good as you're going to get from a movie of this caliber or for this genre. There's no deep emotions being expressed here, but what's done is done well. So yeah, 3.5.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's fantastic.
Yeah.
Keith
And
Barry, love him. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also a tendency or a risk of in a movie like this for one person to be absolutely horrendous acting, but nobody really stands out as being bad.
A few people act weird, but I think that's part of it. Like Clark is kind of wooden, but I think he's a wooden individual. He's more comfortable with animals, and that's what he's trying to portray. I think it's acted very well. I think the Doctor plays well. Blair plays well. The only one person who's kind of in the script is maybe the ginger lad.
I don't even remember anything about all the sort of
Gary's
other characters.
Great.
Gary's great. Wilfred Brimley is good as Blair. The dog was great.
The dog wins, man.
Yeah.
Acting's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Sam Barker's track, listen, I liked it. I'm giving it 3. I'm not going to give it any more than that. I think it was minimal. I think it was atmospheric, and I think it did the job.
Yeah, I give it 3 as well. It's Eno's work, but he hasn't gone with his normal fare here. It isn't something to blow you away like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. But he sets excellent tension right from the get-go, especially when it comes to the dog scenes, and it's just like dogs looking off into the distance and
dun, dun.
Yeah great.
Yeah, good. Production, I'm going to go high and go 4.25. I think they deserve all the plaudits and credit for making what they did in 1982.
Yeah, I give it 4. I had it 4.25. I knocked it back to 0.25 just because of the wobbly alien spaceship at the start. It kind of annoyed me. I don't know why. So I'll leave it at 4.
Yeah, it's a little out of theme, out of the realms of the high quality.
It felt a bit tacked on.
It's like a Mars Attacks thing where they make it look stupid intentionally, but it wasn't intentional.
One other thing I thought maybe wasn't up to snuff maybe was the spaceship scene where they're doing the blue screen stuff. So I don't think it was as good as the rest of the special effects, but maybe that's a budget thing.
Yeah, it's hard to know, but
still, it's excellent. Still, it's nitpicking here.
Yeah, that's great. All right, well, David Anson in the Newsweek in 1982, so this isn't a modern review. He gave it 30 out of 100, which that goes with the times. It wasn't accepted well. There's a big difference between shock effects and suspense, and in sacrificing everything at the altar of gore, Carpenter sabotages the drama. The Thing is so single-mindedly determined to keep you awake that it almost puts you to sleep.
So off the mark, because the special effects and the gore is secondary in this movie. It is the drama, it is the tension, it is the paranoia that makes this movie a classic. That's my take anyway.
Yeah. Adam Smith in Empire, which I'm guessing is a retroactive review, gave it 100. The Thing is a peerless masterpiece of relentless suspense, retina-wrecking visual excess, and outright nihilistic terror, placing 12 men at an Antarctic station while a shapeshifter takes them over one by one. That's really very descriptive of a review. Not really a analysis of it.
Spoilers, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else to say about The Thing.
Yeah, let's just assimilate this bad boy and move on.
There you go. I was waiting for something to come and you had to just do that, and that's fine. Okay, well, let's roll the random number generator for episode 84, shall we? And random number for episode 84 is 16,267.
Jesus Christ.
It's been a while since we plumbed the depths of randomness.
Spice Girls. Has to be the Spice Girls movie.
It is not. Random movie 16,267 is a movie called Rollerball from 2002.
Oh, I've heard of this. This is with the guy from The Godfather.
No.
No?
This is...
James Caan.
No. We've got your mate John Reno in it. We've got Chris Klein in the star role. We've got LL Cool J, Rebecca Romijn, Naveen Andrews. It's a really stupid-looking action movie set around roller derby.
Oh.
And I think it's very interesting because it's directed by John McTiernan, who has a staunch, very good quality run of films, including our previous episode, Die Hard, Predator, Last Action Hero, all that stuff. So Rollerball's synopsis is set in 2005. This update of the classic 1975 film directed by Norman Jewison focuses on the deadly sport that combines roller derby and basketball and packs arenas around the world.
That's the original one, was James Caan.
Okay. Yeah, this is from 2002. It's got a meta score of 14.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's got a user score of 3.4 out of 10.
Christ.
It only runs for 1 hour and 38 minutes. So I'm actually strangely looking forward to shitting on a movie, but also looking forward to seeing how a director who has directed some amazing movies gets it so wrong. Especially
when the first one, while not all that well-known movie, is a bit of a cult classic. In fairness, I've never seen it. It's popped up a few times in my feeds, and I went, "That looks crap."
Yeah,
but it got much better rated than this one.
Well, Chris Klein was this sort of mid-90s actor who never really made it past the shitty comedies he made. So it's interesting to see him try to splash out with this one, but no.
We'll see how bad it goes. I'm actually, like yourself, I'm interested to see how bad this is and how badly we can poop on it.
Yeah, well, it's our second movie from Jean Reno, and the first one was terrible, so this one's probably going to keep up that trend.
I'll be honest, while I think Jean Reno is a fantastic actor, he's done an awful lot of crap.
Yeah. Well, when you have LL Cool J as your third from top billed actor, you know it's something weird is going on.
Yeah.
Naveen Andrews, though, dude from Lost.
Who's that guy?
He had a sister, I believe, in this thing. I can't remember the character's name in Lost. Anyway, you'll know him when you see him. Yeah. Okay, well, that'll be episode 84 to look forward to. If you haven't shared or reviewed our podcast, please do so on whatever platform you are listening to us on. And we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Ta-da.